Hey guys, how are you doing? I'm richly blessed. Pray that you are as well. All right, I'm back for another episode of Music That Changed My Life. Music that changed my life. Music that, do you hear what I'm saying to you? This music changed my life. That's right, music that changed my life. Talking about artists and albums that have impacted me, not rating, saying this is better than that or this is the best of this. It's not what this is for. This is me sharing my personal experiences about music, albums, artists that have impacted my life heavily. And so on this edition, I want to talk about a specific album from a specific group. And the group's name is Anointed. So back in, I guess, probably the early 2000s, there was, actually, in the 90s, probably the late 90s, not even the early 2000s yet, it's the late 90s, there's a group came out called Anointed. And, for that time, it was a typical gospel, contemporary gospel group. It was four of them, tight harmonies, drum, a drum track, rhythm stuff, like real, this is what we would expect, so the first record was good. So I go to, and again, remember, back in those days, there were no internet or anything like that. So the only way you knew about a new record was you go to the record store, and it's, unless they were doing heavy promotion for it on the radio, and you caught that, you go to the record store, and it's like, oh, these are the new releases. So me and my mom went to Jesus Book and Gift, which was our thing. She went off and looked at whatever books and things she was looking at. I'm headed right to the new music section. And I get in the new music section and I see, oh, Anointed. Oh, okay, they have a new album. And the album is called Under the Influence, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm thinking about it from the context of their first album. Like, okay, I liked it. All right, let's grab this. So I get home and I put the album in and I'm expecting to hear more of what I heard from the first record. I hit play and immediately I'm like, what the heck is this? Like, what in the, like, in a good way, like, I've never heard gospel music that sounds like this. Like, for that time, again, remember, gospel music was very urban sounding. It didn't really mix with other sounds. You understand? So a lot of drum machine stuff, organ, keys, R&B, like urban stuff, which is what their first album kind of was. It was a little more like gospel-y mixed with that. This album, from the first track, it opens up with a guitar. And I'm like, huh? Because we ain't have a lot of guitar. Gospel music was not guitar driven at all. At most, if you listen to quartet music, you have some electric guitar, and we might have a little electric guitar here and there, but it really was not like guitar being the main thing. And this literally was, now that I look back on it, a soft rock gospel album. Like, it was like a soft rock with some R&B, with some country album, but it was gospel. And like, listening to it was like, it opened up, and this was before I was still a teenager. This is before I'm producing music. This is before I'm writing music. This is before I even really figured out I could sing or anything. I'm just a kid who's just in love with gospel music, and just music in general. And I'm listening to this, and just from song to song to song, it was literally pop, soft rock, country, a little bit of R&B, gospel music. And it completely changed I had never been exposed to that before, I had never heard anything like that. So the instrument choices, everything, just thinking through the songs, pretty much all the songs were either heavily guitar driven or had some kind of guitar element. even the songs that had a little bit more of a gospel, traditional gospel flair, still had that heavy guitar element. And you could tell, and I don't have it in front of me to know who produced that record or who, even the mix was different. The way that that album even was mixed, you could tell like this is not one of the traditional big time gospel producers at that time. They probably, and I got to go back and research like who actually produced that record, but they probably worked with some folk who are in the CCM space or like the rock space. Because I know Michael W. Smith was on a song, they were on a song with him on their first record. So they definitely had some relationships in that space. They definitely went outside of the gospel box, I think, now that I think about it, for both the production and also the engineering side of things. But it really, like I said, opened me up like, oh, gospel music could sound like this too. And I think that's why I love gospel music so much, because, and I know nowadays in gospel, there's the whole debate about, at least in church, about gospel versus CCM and the sound and all that. And my thing is always like, why can't we embrace all of it? Like, why do we have to just do one thing in gospel music? Why can't we do this and that and have a mix of all these sounds? And why we got to be in a box where it has to sound this way? And that album is the reason I think that way, because it's like, oh, this is gospel music. The lyrics are gospel. It's anointed music, not just the group's name being anointed, but the music is actually anointed. I still listen to that album to this day. Like, you could turn that album on right now and it stands up to this day. But just the innovative nature of that record was amazing. And like I said, not only from the music side, but also from the engineering side of things, just the way the record was mixed. They made intentional choices like, nah, we finna do a soft rock gospel record. And they legit did like a soft rock gospel record. And it's so good. It's so good. And one of the things I liked about them too, because then on their next album, they did a complete departure from that and did something completely different. What I liked about them too is they showed that for each record, like, I don't have to do the same thing over and over and over and over again. But for each record, let's approach it and craft a sound that is right for this record, for these songs, for this audience. That Anointed, Under the Influence, changed my life. So if any of the members of Anointed are seeing this, I don't know if you are. I don't know what y'all were on when y'all made that record, but thank you. Thank you so much for that record. It showed me that gospel can sound like more than just one thing, and it really impacts my production to this day. Unless I'm working with an artist who specifically is saying, I want this sound, my stuff, and you've heard it on the channel, and you're going to hear more and more of it, my stuff is going to sound like a little bit of everything. And Under the Influence by Anointed is partially to blame for that. All right, so go back and check that record out if you haven't already. I hope you guys are enjoying this type of content. Please take a moment and like this video, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit join for control room content. I'll see you guys again soon in another video. All right, peace. Thanks for watching. Hey, here's some other content you might want to check out. Just a suggestion, no pressure. Feel free to watch whatever you want on the channel. Also, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button? That way you can be notified when new videos are coming out. And feel free to hit that join button too for members only content in the control room. See you next time.